Yeah.
without Kyler Murray. Um, did a pretty decent job with that team. I think it's a little bit easier for first time head coaches to coach a football team that's full of second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth round picks,
Mm,
undrafted free agents, which is pretty much a large portion of what Jonathan Gannon had last year with Arizona. And
yeah.
I think Arizona's doing this season what Detroit was expected to do 2 years ago, which is beat the teams y'all should beat. When we
Yeah.
discussed the Arizona Chicago game potentially early Sunday, was it Saturday morning, matter of fact.
Yeah.
And it was with no hesitation. I took Arizona because I just felt like Arizona was further ahead. Kyler Murray's further ahead, way further ahead than Caleb Williams. Um, Even though I think the Bears have better personnel on paper,
Yeah.
Arizona's just executing a lot better right now.
Yeah, better
Yeah,
coach team, man.
yeah, yeah.
Eberflus is like, man, how many times do he got to lose a close game, or just when they lay an egg on the road, or just like miscommunication? And man, I think he got one more bad loss in him. Walt, if he get one more, I think he might get fired before Thanksgiving. That's real talk,
See,
because.
management then told him you got one more bad loss, my man.
I think it's time. Look at Dennis Allen. Like Saints finally
Yeah,
got tired of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to say they should have. I mean, really, Dennis Allen should have went last year. I mean, I didn't find any reason to bring him back this year. You know
Dennis
what I'm
Allen
saying?
never should have had that job, man. But it
Yeah,
all goes back to connections in the league and being around for a long time and knowing this person and know that person and being able to get a job. But Dennis Allen had no business even having that job. And then
yeah,
they had no business trading for Derek Carr.
mm, yeah,
That was a damn good football team and a damn good roster for a
yeah,
long time. Even a few years after Breeze left, they were still a good roster. They just
yeah,
older now,
yeah.
for the
Because
most part.
even Mike Florio and Chris Sayers do Pro Football. I love the show, man. And they was even talking about when Sean Payton left. And do the Saints regret not giving Dan Campbell the job? You know what I'm saying? They was pretty much saying that, when Dan Campbell left, Sean Payton was there another year, I think, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. And they said that maybe he should have, like with Belichick and Gerard Mayo, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he should have been the
Nah.
next guy in line in New Orleans.
It was, I think, and not only saying this because he's with our team or we're winning right now, but even if it wasn't Detroit, I think Dan is still Dan better to leave New Orleans and
Hmm. Yeah,
cut his own teeth somewhere else. Because being in New Orleans, you're gonna forever be compared to Sean Payton.
yeah,
And if you play quarterback in New Orleans, you're gonna forever be compared to Drew Brees. So it all worked out. I mean, what if Dan Campbell would have took the Giants job that year?
yeah,
What if he would have took the Jets job?
yeah,
Like there's
yeah,
there's a lot of what ifs.
yeah.
And Dan, I think Dan and Brad Holmes made excellent decisions, man. It just goes to show you how your success in the NFL is razor thin as a player and as the
Hmm.
head coach and as a coordinator based upon these jobs you take or based upon what teams or organizations draft you, man. And hey, we hit a home run. I think we were due though.
Hmm.
After
Yeah,
50 after 50 something years we was due.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Because
it's
you
all
thought.
working good now though, man. 24-14. Um, Very impressive. I nailed the score, at least on our behalf at the
Hmm.
24 points. I figured the game would be somewhere in that 24-20, 24-16, 20-18, one of those type of scores,
Hmm.
mainly due to the weather, for the most part. This team went out with no hiccups, I feel like, and did what they needed to do. Jared Goff, on one hand, only threw for 125 yards, actually 145 yards, 18 to 22, one touchdown. Was only
Yeah.
sacked one time, which was great in that weather. Jordan Love on the other side, 23 of 39. I think 39 pass attempts was way too much for him,
Yeah.
especially in that weather, coming off a sore groin, a groin injury for that matter. Threw for 273, had one majorly costly interception in the first half to end the first half. Matter of fact, the Kirby Joseph a pick six. That it turned the game. I don't think that necessarily turned the game in my opinion. I think we actually had solid control of the game at that point in time. It was 10-3. As good as solid control of a 10-3 game as you can have. It just felt to me like we had a solid hold on that game. And that pick six to Kirby Joseph really sealed it, I think, for Green Bay. There were Lion fans that were at the game yesterday that said that after that pick six by Kirby Joseph, Packer fans were leaving. Not a large amount of them, but there were some Packer fans that leaving. I think a lot of it was due to the weather, as well as the fact that they fell behind 17-3. But how does it feel to be at a point in time now where teams fall behind to us 17-3 and they fans up and leave?
Yeah, yep,
Like they
yep.
leaving now.
Yeah, it's to be expected now, man. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, when we play and we just go out there and expect to win. What's up, Corey? What's up, Bobby? What's up, Trey Finesse? Our guys out there. You know, the situation out here with the Lions, man, it's like they done turned everybody to they done flipped the script, man, because I think now they know we for real now. You know what I'm saying? It was like it took a while. Even last year, people wasn't like thinking we was for real, that type of thing. Now it's like, no, when you play Lions, you dude, you're gonna have to bring it, and bring it again because these guys not gonna stop, man, until the mission is accomplished. I mean, for myself, I think it was a big eye opener for me because I really thought the Packers was going to win the game. Like I said, not because they're better. I just felt the Lions due for a loss. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how I felt about it. But yeah, like you said, man, I mean, from the beginning of that game, it was no pushback at all. I mean, I didn't think for a second once we scored, I think they got 3 and then we scored 7. And I thought to myself, if they don't score a touchdown right after we score, I think we're gonna take control of this game because you knew we was just gonna run the ball and take control of that second drive and at least score again, in which we did. We got 3, but we scored again. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, when the pick six, Kirby Joseph, in this graphic that you're showing right now, I mean, that solidified that game was over. I thought that, first of all, Jordan Love wasn't 100%, but I don't think it would have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered at all. You know what I'm saying? I just, I was just really proud to watch this game and just to see, man, regardless of, we know the trade deadline is tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, and we feel like the Lions are gonna make him. I think everybody's kind of saying it, but kind of it's a lot of speculation out there what player is gonna be a Detroit Lion at the end of tomorrow. But I just feel right now, I feel we gonna make the Super Bowl regardless, man. I really, I don't want to jinx it, and I got a rule. I shouldn't even be talking Super Bowl right now. But right now, I think like Kansas City losing right now. See, and if they're and I was saying Kansas City was the better team only because of their record, and you got to respect them because they got the trophy right now. But man, if they lose this game, I think the Lions supplant them as number 1 team in the league, man. You know what I'm saying? And I never said that in my existence on earth that the Lions are actually the number 1 team in the NFL, man. I mean, they just
Well, I mean, they playing like it. Honestly,
yeah.
if you're talking about the last 2 seasons for that matter, like we've played like one of the 4 best teams in all of football. And this year, I think there's zero question to it. I think the major reason people don't, or at least are very hesitant to put us in the category of number 1 in the league is because they still don't like our quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They still don't believe in our quarterback because I think any idiot can look at this football team from top to bottom and see with the way they played. You look at the roster, the level of caliber of players that they have in the secondary, especially having 2 elite safeties back there, an elite offensive line, an elite rushing attack. You have an elite wide receiver. You have a tight end who has the potential to be elite, but he's caught in a log jam with so many other offensive weapons. On any other team, Laporta would be a major option. You put Laporta on Kansas City right now in place of Travis Kelce, and he's a major problem. So and I want to start with this guy right here, Kirby Joseph, man, all pro season. He's having at this moment. What do you make of just week after week,
Yeah,
it's him.
yeah.
If it's not Branch, it's him. What do you
I don't
make
think
of
it's
his
a fluke.
production this year?
Yeah, I don't think Kirby. Remember, we did shows on Kirby Joseph, man, where we did a Big Ten analysis before he got drafted, and I liked him from the start. I just liked the ball hawking ability. He caught my eye well because he was a guy, especially in the red zone. He was always around the ball, man. I mean, it's not something that he just started doing right now. It just seemed like his gloves got Velcro on him or something, man. When that ball is in the air or in his vicinity, Kirby gonna get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's like something that he's just on fire right now, or he's getting lucky, or dude can play, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think him and pair with Brian Branch, that's a perfect combo. I mean, is he physically imposing like Melifonwu looking like a linebacker back there? No, but he doesn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? He just makes plays, man. That's all you can ask for. You know what I'm saying? And I think that not having the adequate pass rush, like I think I think like everybody's like craving for us to have since Aiden Hutchinson went down. I think that we make up for it because we make up the difference with great play on the back end, man. You know what I'm saying? And they make up for a lot of mistakes, you know what I'm saying? Because yesterday, listen, Terrion Arnold didn't have a great game. And you know me, I've been beating the drum for Agent Zero. I like Terrion Arnold, but he didn't really have a great game yesterday. And I think it kind of covered it up because Kirby Joseph was been so good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, since the minute we drafted him, I was happy with the draft pick. I hope he's not one of the odd man out where they've been signing all of their free agents. I mean, not free agents, but all of their draft picks. I just hope Kirby Joseph is not the odd man out because remember, we got a salary cap to keep, maybe some guys take less money to keep Kirby Joseph around. That's one guy you do not want him to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I expect it every week from Kirby now. You know what I'm saying? Now the learning, like right now, I'm in a learning process, and I think Terrion Arnold's in that area. I Kirby Joseph's not in that learning deer in headlights anymore, man. You know what I'm saying? The dude can play, and the people game planning for him because you could say, well, what is he really? Is he intimidating? Is he coming up like a Cam Chancellor and knocking somebody's head off? Not necessarily. You know what I'm saying? But man,
I don't
if
think
that
that's
ball
not
is in
necessarily what he wants to do. But if
right,
you give Kirby a free shot, he'll hit you. Like most safeties. You
yeah,
don't become a quality all pro Pro Bowl caliber safety being soft. He'll hit you, but his main thing is reading his keys, manning his quarters, his zones, and
playmaker.
making plays on the football.
He playmaker. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want, from the safety position. Because remember last year we wasn't really getting the turnovers like we are this year. You know what I'm saying? Now it seems like the ball is finding our guys, man. You know what I'm saying? In one way, I thought Terrion Arnold would be the guy to take one to the house. I kind of felt Jordan Love opportunistic, throwing a lot of picks. You know what I'm saying? That we could get the ball and maybe take one back to the house. But hey, I'll take it. It doesn't matter who's doing it right now, man. But Kirby Joseph is absolutely in discussion for Defensive Player of the Year too. I don't think it's a
Oh
stretch
yeah, definitely.
to say he's not. You got to give it up, man. And definitely in the running for a Pro Bowl spot right now. I mean, he's a Pro Bowl safety. I mean, right now he's Pro Bowl caliber safety. So
Yeah, him and his boy that got put out, man.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go over to this fellow right here,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
Uh
yeah. Love
I
Brian
know that.
Branch. Yep,
Listen, there's there's
yep,
Lion fans here right now, not here watching our show. I'm pretty sure, but there were
yeah,
a lot of Lions fans on the radio earlier today. Uh, kind of been all out of shape because of this.
yeah.
My thing is get
Not,
over it, man.
yep.
Did y'all
I'm
just
not.
start watching football? Do y'all not understand the middle finger is part of football?
Yeah,
Uh, excuse my language, but fuck you is part of football.
yeah.
On the
Right,
football field, you think fans haven't yelled that at players?
right,
You think I
right.
haven't had a player flip me off? Like it happens, man. It's part of the game. You laugh it off on both ends. But man,
Hmm.
this dude right here,
Yeah,
and I want to make sure I get credit for this because I was the first person, period, on
yeah.
airs to ever call this man Brian Dawkins. I heard 3 more people today refer to him as Brian Dawkins. This man is the closest clone to Brian Dawkins I have ever seen. And the edge he plays with, paired with the ball skills of Kirby Joseph, because Brian got ball skills too. But he's the yin to his yang and vice versa. We don't have 2 identical from top to bottom safeties. We got 2 that completely complement each other. Where he's short at, Kirby for damn sure makes up for it. And where Kirby is short at in the physicality and playing in the box and being an enforcer, not only in the box, but as well on the back end, that's Branch. Perfect. So what did you make of the hit? Because we were talking about this before we went live. Personally, me, I thought it deserved a penalty. Just being fair about it. I felt like he had the opportunity to either go over the top of him or slow up. He had a full 2 steps. And just being for real about it, if that hit would have happened to St. Brown, we'll be pissed off about it as Lion fans. And like I said, I felt like the hit was warranted for a penalty. Kicking him out, I thought was ridiculous. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought definitely getting kicked out of the game was just doing too much, as we hear everybody say these days. But I didn't have a problem with the hit, man. You do, I didn't. I thought that he, in slow motion, it showed that he led more with the shoulder, in my opinion, and the head. I mean, he hit him with the helmet, like in a bad, like kind of like in a sweet spot of the helmet. But he led more with I thought it kind of a little combination of both. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was a malicious hit at all. I think it looked bad because I think wasn't it Bo Melton, the guy who got hit? I think his head kind of went backwards and hit the turf. I think that made it worse than what it was, and people was oohing on the camera. Screw the Packers, man. I don't give them no kind of I don't care what they think. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad he did what he did. Because you know what, man, fans get to say what they want to say. They like, you know what, I pay this money. I paid this $200. I've been drinking beer all morning, and I'm getting ready to cuss some players out, right? So, they say racist. You listen to the players, they'll tell you. They have people saying racist things to them. They're not saying that that's what they did, but what I'm getting at is you in the heat of the moment, man. People, you rock out on that field. We didn't been to games. We didn't heard them say, oh, screw you, screw your mama, screw your kids. You know what I'm saying? I know where you live, that type of thing. So for him to get up and get a Packer fans the middle finger, it might have been immature, of course. You know what I'm saying? But, a penalty was warranted. He got a penalty. And then the refs didn't even throw him out. It was New York. I guess the powers that be in New York threw him out the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's how ridiculous it was. But and then Chris just said that Chris Olave here was way worse than that. Way worse. You said it too. We talking about on the pre-show. But I didn't feel like Brian Branch is a dirty player or he tried to take his head off, head hunting.
I think it was him playing football, but like I was saying before, I think part of it also, now they're starting to ask from New York, and the officiating crews are starting to ask, was it even necessary? It may have not been straight to the head with the crown. It may have not been leading with the crown and the helmet, but now they're starting to ask the question, was the contact even necessary? Now, it probably wasn't. At the end of the day, like I said, I still think it deserved a penalty, but when you look at the Chris Olave hit, that was completely egregious, unnecessary. And that's kind of what's starting to bother me about football players, and we were talking about that before the show.
Yeah.
We can come down on Derek Carr about the poor pass, because the pass was ridiculous too. You don't have the arm to be throwing that football through the keyhole he was trying to throw it through, and then for you to miss, and then miss high.
Yeah.
And you hang your receiver out there like that.
Yeah. That's bad.
And then, like I said, even playing football, like, do I want to necessarily go out there and kill somebody?
Right.
I don't like. Am I going to get joy out of hitting somebody that's completely in the air, defenseless?
Yeah, defenseless. Yeah,
it's not like I took on Derrick Henry head on. I took on Eddie George head on and put him on the ground, or nothing like that. And then seeing what transpired with Olave and him voiding himself and everything, that's like, we don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't think any player wants that for another player either. And I don't, as a football player, I don't play in NFL, but I'm pretty sure as a football player, none of them want that
Yeah.
for any other football player out there. But yeah, hopefully he turns out to be okay, man. And but like I said, it was kind of irresponsible. Yeah, it was. It was from Derek Carr. You
Yeah.
talking about the
What's up,
Derek
Ralph?
Carr
Yeah.
throw? Yeah, that was kind of irresponsible. He also
Uh-oh.
says if he looked up to the ball, it was pick. It was a pick, though. Yeah. So was it as bad as that? Hell no. I don't think it was bad as the Jordan Poyer hit either
Yeah, that was
against
bad
Buffalo.
too. That pit. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. That
but
hit was
by
bad.
four by 4 o'clock, they probably New York probably was sitting back and they saw the Brian Branch shit and they said, "Damn it, enough is enough. Throw
Mhm.
somebody out." I done seen enough shit today. I think
Uh-oh.
that's what it was. They kind of made an example out of Branch, but
Uh-oh.
at the end of the day, we still won. There was a point in time where you lose a key player like that as a Lion fan. Now you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, here we go. How we gonna find a way to lose this?" And they just kept on marching.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so
Yeah.
let's get to somebody else real quick.
Oh man, they
Another
helping
stellar
Mahomes.
performance. They
Mahomes
helping
off the
Mahomes.
field. Off the field. No, no, no. They helping Mahomes off the field, bro. He turned his ankle or something. Oh, that ain't good right there. He threw a touchdown and it came down wrong, it looked like. And man, he had to get helped off the field. That's a big development in this game coming up here. They just scored, made it 17-16 against the Tampa Bay, and the mighty Carson Wentz is joining the party coming in for the
Oh,
Chiefs.
oh, the mighty Wentzes.
Yeah, his Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. But
Uh,
kicking
yeah,
with it, man.
yeah,
Amon-Ra St. Brown, man, slowly but surely moving his
fantastic.
way up on the
Yep,
list of Detroit Lions all-time great wide receivers with the Calvin Johnsons and the Herman Moores and
yep, fantastic, fantastic. But
boy, it all started with this right here, man.
that was that's a beautiful shot you got right there. Oh man, that says it all right there. And
Look at the
I just
biceps, man. Look at the
yeah.
biceps.
St. Brown, he a different guy, man. He different. I mean, I'll just speak on him first. Then I'll let you take it away. But like St. Brown is like a epitome of what like Detroit represents, our city represents, what we want out of our sports teams, the way he carries himself. This guy, dog, man. I mean, man, to catch that ball. First of all, I give Jared Goff some credit because we always say that he can't, he can only make certain throws. And man, that was look at where he placed that ball, Walt. Look at he's got one toe coming down, and then he toe tapped it to
Well,
perfection.
everything about this play was teach tape. The ball
Yeah,
placement from Jared Goff, the ball he threw,
yeah,
the way St. Brown sold the fade
yeah.
and then didn't turn back for the back shoulder to the very last second.
Oh man,
The hands catch, the toes in bounds, like
yeah,
they doing everything right now.
yeah. That was tremendous. That was a tremendous play. I thought that got everybody fired up. I had me fired up, and I know the team was fired up because that was our first touchdown. Because after Green Bay had got a field goal in their first drive, we came, got that score, and I thought that settled us down. It kind of got Golf in the rhythm, got him, some confidence, got the team like rolling, like we coming in here to do this. He was fired up, man, and this guy a dog, man. I think he's so underrated because people even say, remember George Pickens was saying, well, he what do you call him?
Slot machine.
Yeah, slot merchant or something. He kind of
Yeah,
named
slot
him,
merchant.
and it was totally disrespectful to say that to St. Brown. I mean, maybe he is making a living, make his money in the slot, but man, he do way much more than that. Way much more. Block down the field, efficient route runner, in the red zone, deadly. You know what I'm saying? He can take it to the house, you know what I'm saying, if he in space, but I think he just a little bit more than a slot. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit because he played for our team, but man, I'm just telling you what, St. Brown is just if we gonna win it this year or win it whenever, he gonna be leading the way. This guy, you know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. I mean, you don't have to worry about St. Brown like dogging it or not ready to play or not in the right attitude. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like they feed off of him, man. You know what I mean? And then when he don't get the ball, sometimes I think he's the one guy. Walt, I think we have a more of a team. Obviously, a team approach to it. It's not one guy, but I think that he's the one guy that you do have to get him the ball, man. Every game, like what I'm saying. He can't have a stat line 2 catches for 13 yards. Remember he had against the Rams. What one game he had 3 catches, 13 yards or something against Tampa or something. And it's like he can't be having stat lines like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to make a concerted effort to get St. Brown the ball. You know what I mean? I do believe that in the passing game. So
Yeah. He's fourth round pick, 112th overall pick out of USC, came in, earned a starting job, beat out 2 6'5" receivers. Well, one of them was 6'5", and Tyrell Williams. Beat out Breshad Perryman.
Yeah.
Beat out a couple other guys his rookie year. A 5'10" and a half, 5'11" receiver is your best blocker as a rookie.
Yeah.
And when Dan Campbell came out and said that about him, that's I knew, okay. Because I knew who St. Brown was coming out of USC. He got a lot of, not necessarily, well, it was disrespect when you look back on it now, because I think the NFL just got it wrong. And sometimes the NFL just gets it wrong. They got it wrong with the kid from Buffalo, Shakir.
Yeah.
He's another dude who can play and had no business being drafted where he was drafted. But sometimes they get so caught up, especially with the wide receiver position, they get so caught up in stature, 40 times, bicep size, hand size. And sometimes they just get it wrong. The NFL got it wrong with St. Brown. This dude has worked his way for almost 4 years deep now. He's worked his way into being one of the 10 best wide receivers in football, 6 best, 7 best, whatever. Without the doubt, I think you can't argue right now he's the most consistent. I was checking out a stat earlier today. He and Goff have connected on 30 straight passes.
Yeah.
30 straight targets.
Yeah, 30 straight. Yup. Yeah. That's man.
The consistency in the hands.
Yes.
I don't care if he only runs 3 routes, 6 routes, all 9 routes, whatever. If you're productive in the scheme that you're in the position that they put you in the NFL as a wide receiver, you're a damn good player. And they kill me, some of these dudes trying to make light of these wide receivers who may make a lot of their living on, in the slot. Doesn't matter. You're productive. Your team is winning. And it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to go out there and get 12 catches for 240 and 3 touchdowns and average 38 yards per catch. He's not that type of wide receiver. Yeah. But what he is for us, he was a tone setter. He was a culture setter. When he was in the draft and he started to slip, the first thing that thought to my mind was, once it got to like the 3rd round, they're going to take him because he's their type of football player. He's like the anti-USC wide receiver, and I think that was a big issue people had with him because they tend to attach you to what your helmet is. And seeing so many USC wide receivers from Mike Williams to Dwayne Jarrett, R.J. Soward, Marquise Lee, Kerry Colbert, like there was so many of them that had the hype, that had the talent, that had the size. None of those dudes had his work ethic. None of those dudes had his heart. And none of those dudes had Mr. Universe as their dad either. So, yeah, man, he's the epitome of what this culture is. And he and Jared Goff for that matter. And this is a team right now, man, and I agree with you 100%. For the most part, he and Montgomery might be the 2 dudes on this team, at least on the offense, that are the most irreplaceable.
Yep. You can't afford or golf to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Right
being
now,
the quarterback.
You know what I mean? And then what's your thoughts like on Dan Campbell too as a coach? I mean, just looking at his record, 30-27 as a head coach, 1 tie. You take out that 3-13 in 1 start. Dan is what, 27 and do the math, 27-14. as a head coach. You take out that first season. That's pretty impressive, man. You know what I'm saying? It didn't start off. I remember, I keep going back to when we did the show,
Couldn't
and
get a win.
he was 3
Yeah.
and 13-1. Then remember the second season, he was 1 and 6, man. And ever since that 1 and 6 started, year two, everything changed. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So Dan Campbell showed that he's resilient enough to, with players like St. Brown, like signing a David Montgomery, and having Taylor Decker, drafting a Penei Sewell, you know what I mean? Having Frank Ragnow at center, just putting a little bit piece around him. Jahmyr Gibbs has just been fantastic, man. You know what I'm saying? Just you could see why. Me and you, we've been covering this team for 4 years now, and we see like we've seen the progress. You know what I'm saying? Like from when we, love or hate the roster, or they could have got this player, but they got this player. We're not talking about that part of it. We just saying the team as is constructed year by year. You know what I'm saying? I think that this team, you could see why they're good now because we kind of seen it coming. You know what I mean? Like the players that they got, and it's like, man, it's worked out. You know what I mean? Just looking back and just having Dan Campbell, I don't think no other coach could probably coach this team the way he can. You know what I'm saying? With this personnel.
No, they couldn't. I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
they may have some success because this is a damn good team now, and the talent level on the roster is way better than what it was when he first came in. But no, no.
Mm-hmm.
His fingerprints are all over this football team. His personality is all over this football team. There's no way anybody else steps right in and wins with this team at all. You don't really see situations like this in the NFL anymore where head coaches get, because remember, there were people in the media here that wanted this dude fired when they turned 1 and 6.
I'm raising my hand. Remember, I did the show. I said, dude, if we lose, blah, 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 this game, Campbell should be gone. I remember me
And
vividly
think about
saying
it.
that. Yeah.
Most organizations would have fired him after a 3-13 season, year one.
Yeah.
Starting 1-6 in year two, most bad organizations would have fired him.
Yeah.
And where would we be right now if we would have fired him?
Yeah. Like you said, we probably would be on the second coach since him. You know what I'm saying? They probably would have been 2 more coaches after him. You know what I mean? Like you said, the waiting game. And now I think it's finally paying off. The organization getting in different direction, different leadership, different, you know what I'm saying? Just a different philosophy. Brad Holmes, he's gonna make a move. I think, coming up in the next 24 hours, next 12 hours, however you want to put it. And he's a big culprit too, man. I mean, say what you want, say the lack their pass rush, but I just want to just talk about the good thing. I mean, just he's done everything that others couldn't do. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like they've done everything that they think about it. Remember, we had like a losing streak against the Packers. Remember that we couldn't beat the Packers in Green Bay. Now it's 3 straight. You know what I'm saying? And we beat that
Couldn't
team.
beat Seattle. Couldn't rush the football.
Yeah.
Let's think about that. Think about how many head coaches or OCs came here for years that could not get the running game ignited.
Yeah.
He came in with Deuce Staley and they got everything fixed in 1 year.
Yeah. Yep. Remember Reggie Bush years. Remember Kevin Jones from Virginia Tech. Remember
James
him?
Stewart.
James Stewart. Oh my goodness. Mikael LaSure.
Remember we did the running back video?
Yeah.
If Jahmyr Gibbs can break the curse, well, he broke the curse.
Yeah.
Him and Montgomery broke the curse. They both walked in and started knocking curses all off the counter.
Yeah. And
like it's over.
You know what I was surprised about yesterday's game too? I was surprised that Gibbs and Montgomery looked fat. They looked like they had a lot of hop in their step, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't look broke down. I think they're using them correctly. They don't look like because some backs after 9-10 games, they kind of look like they hurting a little bit while they running. You know what I'm saying? These guys look like they ready to go, man. Like Montgomery looked noticeably like he had a lot of pickup in his step to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they doing it right. As you mentioned, they doing it even. Like yesterday, Gibbs had what 11 carries. Yeah, Gibbs had
Mhm.
11 carries for 65 yards. Um, Montgomery has 17 carries for 73 yards. So
Oh, they missed. We missed that. We missed that bet. Remember, the bet was plus
yeah,
150 that they would get 150 combined. Dang, they missed it by like 15, 16 yards. But yeah, man, just fantastic. When you look at it, it was one stat I wanted to talk about with the defense.
I was just
Because to
gonna
me,
ask you about that too.
yeah, like, what was your thoughts on the defense? Like the pass rush. I mean, listen, I think that we can win. Let's just say if we stand pat and don't do anything, right? I mean, I just think that right now the NFC, they're so I think that they can withstand being the number one team, but I don't know necessarily we can win it all. But I think we do have enough to win. And yesterday's game showed me maybe 100% Jordan Love coming up in. I think we play the Packers again in like 4 weeks. I think it's a Thursday night game too, on Prime. We play Packers here, but what I'm saying is, I didn't notice not really having a pass rush until like second quarter, maybe when Packers was trying to score. Really, you can tell they were really trying to score, and every time they would get down there, it seems like they would self implode and kind of do it to themselves, meaning the Packers, right? So I think that's what kind of covered up the Lions still having a lackluster pass rush. You know what I'm saying? To me, it didn't bother, it didn't hurt them again yesterday. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I
I
mean,
don't,
the weather helped out a lot too, and I
yeah,
don't want to make an excuse for them because we had our share of injuries just like they had their share of injuries. And you talking about Jordan Love was out there with playing through a groin injury. It
yeah,
was evident when he tried to get out and scramble. I was surprised they gave him that many runs in
yeah,
that type of weather. You know, you slip with a bad groin, and it's curtains for you probably for the
yeah,
rest of the season. But
yeah,
I mean, they're not getting home. I get it.
yeah, yeah.
But the secondary is playing their ass off right now.
Mhm.
That's the whole thing about it. Even outside of the elite safety play that we're getting right now, Carlton Davis, I think he's taken a lot of grief this season. He's had his ups and downs, but I think these corners, they've done a good job of getting corners who are all kind of interchangeable. Even though
Mhm.
Davis is the biggest of all three of them that they brought in, well, four they
Mhm.
brought in this all season. He's 6'2.5". Amik Robinson is around 5'9".
Rake
Ennis Ray
Strauss
Straw's
was
5'11",
6'1".
6 foot.
Oh, yeah, yeah, 6,
Yeah,
yeah.
Arnold's around the same. All of these guys give up plays, and all of them will turn around at another point in the game and make a big play.
Mhm.
That's all
I've
you
heard
can
that.
ask for in corners, man. People out here looking for the next Deion Sanders, the next Champ Bailey, the next
Yes.
Charles Woodson. Like, I get it, everybody wants that guy, but let's be honest about it, man. Most of these corners that come out of college will never sniff anywhere near those types of corners, man. Most of these guys are just good players that if you put them in the right scheme can be really good players.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like you see right here the pass breakup they had on that sideline throw to
Yeah, he
nail it.
right there on the ball, right there. You know what I'm saying? It's a hand on the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a good shot, another good shot by you to get that on there. But yeah, like, and then Bobby Drake, like Bobby Drake said, not making moves unacceptable. I agree. Trust me. I said what I said, but I do agree that they have to make a move. I do want to just put that out there that they should, you know what I'm saying? And if I was GM, I probably would have made the move already, you know what I'm saying? But um, you know, I don't believe that I just don't believe that teams can handle us, man. I don't. It's crazy. It's been, maybe it's been staring me in the face the whole time, and I just didn't want to kind of recognize it. But I'm just looking at, like, it's not many great pass rushers out there. Just think about it. I mean, Micah Parsons is hurt. What are the Cowboys? Cowboys ain't nothing special, right? They got Micah Parsons, bro. They 3-5. I mean, he's been hurt for 3 weeks, but still, if he would have played Do you really think that the Cowboys would be better than they are because Mike just one guy's out there? You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. You know what I
No.
mean? Miles Garrett, we talk about him. Look at the Brown. Brown's what 2-7. You know what I'm saying? Look at Max Crosby with the Raiders. Raiders ain't making the playoffs this year. You know what I'm saying? We talked about three guys right there, and it makes no difference because the rest of the team sucks. You know what I mean? But the Lions,
And
on
we're
the other
seven
hand,
and one without one. And
without
we
one,
and we're
correct.
3-0 without our best one.
Yeah, and
So
it,
that's been the kind
yeah,
of point me and you've been trying to make. Like, do they
yeah,
need to make a move? Of course. But
yeah,
when you're 7-1 with that roster that you currently have right now,
yeah,
you don't need a big name. You don't need to mortgage a bunch of draft capital or bring in a player to eat up 45% of your payroll.
yeah.
You got guys coming back from injury. Kaminsky should be back in a few weeks. Broderick Martin, even though
Roger
Broderick
Martin.
Martin hasn't done squat since he's been here, but Broderick is also a young, healthy body. Hopefully that we can have because we're going to need that down the stretch.
Yeah,
Hopefully we get another DB back. We still don't know about what's going on with the Zadarius Smith situation. Now we're hearing that it may not go through, but this
yeah,
is a team that doesn't honestly need much. You know,
yeah.
they're right there. If they get one more guy, even Isaiah Thomas for that matter.
Hmm.
Isaiah Thomas has only been there for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Get a guy opportunity. He's a
yeah.
young
Him.
kid with some size, some athleticism, a lot of talent. Played
Yeah.
at University of Oklahoma. He may turn out to be a diamond in the rough. Don't be so eager to throw away draft picks and just say, "Oh, they don't matter." When draft picks is what got us here to this point 4 years later. This team wasn't built off free agency, a trade. So this team was built off draft picks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna just say this. I did see before we came on that the Lions did make two roster. They opened up two roster spots. Okay, so that's kind of weird. I mean, obviously they got to do one for Jameson Williams coming back this week against Houston. So, they had to open up a spot for him. They got one roster spot open. I thought that was interesting that we did that. At this point, on a Monday, after the game. So I believe they are going to do something. I think E put it up on the board. Well, he's talking about Ojulari and I can't think of the other guy. He just had on top of my head, but
Yeah.
yeah, Aziz Ojulari from the Giants. I think he went to LSU. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like that. I would like that a lot. I don't know how much the Giants will try to get us for as far as draft picks goes, but
You
that's
could
another
probably get a
name.
Z's for a third, maybe a fourth.
Yeah,
Nothing higher than a third or a fourth. And if you
yeah,
can get a young, talented edge rusher like him
hmm,
for a third or a fourth,
yeah,
considering the fact that coming out of LSU, he was rated as a first round pick.
yeah,
That could be huge for us too. That's why I say, man, you never know, man. We could put 3 C plus B minus players from other teams on our team, surround them with what we have here, and those
yeah.
players may turn out to be B plus A players in our
That's
system.
right. That's right. And it doesn't have to be a home run, even though you know how I feel about it already. Yeah, Trey, I feel Max Crosby. I still got a glimmer of hope. I still hope it would happen to me. You know what I'm saying? But I am realistic, and I do. It's like it's a catch-22. It's like I know how important it is to keep your team strong and to have those draft picks. But man, I just think right now we're in a good sweet spot of our franchise's history, man, to just go ahead and do it, and then we can still be good. You know what I mean? That's how I'm looking at it. I don't look at it like just trade everybody and let's get this one ring and then just go back to just being, doormat. I don't believe that at all. I just think
Become the
that we
Rams though.
yeah, but you know what? Quiet as kept though, the Rams they winning. You know what I mean? I mean, they're not
Yeah,
the
they're gonna be
You
there, I
know
think, in the mix.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Maybe not a Super Bowl team like they won a Super Bowl, but they relevant. They damn sure relevant. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like it. I like all the hype around it. It's just I like to listen to other media outlets, not just ours, and just to see what the temperature is around the league, and listen to Chris Sims and Florio, and listen to Colin Coward, man. They are Cam Newton is fantastic. Anybody out there who needs something to listen to or watch on YouTube, Cam Newton he coming up, man. I think he getting ready to pass Shannon Sharp up because he did damn good analyst, man, on YouTube, man. Talk about NFL, but he had a lot of good things to say about the Lions. You know what I'm saying? He said, Lions won his favorite. He said he would bet money right now, the Lions would win the Super Bowl and play the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So that's how strongly, and he's been on a Dan Campbell thing since last year. He's been talking about how, Dan Campbell's changed the culture. This team, he
because he's a football player's type of coach.
yeah, yeah. And he talked about Jared Goff. He was saying, and remember, he called Jared Goff a game manager. He even went back. He was like, I got some heat because I called Jared Goff a game manager. And, he was just like, he backed it up. He was like, dude, it's nothing wrong with being a game manager. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? You can be a game manager and still be one of the top players in the league. I just think that people bring these labels on everybody and then just try to make what your value is, and they try to base it off of a title or a label, and it tries to diminish your value. Everybody got value, bro. You know what I'm saying? From look at Craig Reynolds, he got some value. You know what I mean? Look at uh even Khalif Raymond. Look at Khalil Dorsey, playing on special teams. Look at, a guy like Trevor Nowaski. I've been watching him, 53, coming out there. And Trevor Nowaski showing some life out there. Jack Campbell. These guys got some life on this team, man. You know what I'm saying? Tim Patrick I've been waiting on Tim to get me a touchdown, man. But uh, he's doing the little things, blocking off the edge. He's a big body guy, sealing off some people. He sealed off a guy on that St. Brown touchdown, so he didn't get double teamed on that play. People don't realize, everything has to go right. And these trick plays, like Chris Sams, I think Chris Sams even mentioned it, like everything's got to go right for a trick play to work. And Tom Brady even said, he goes, it ain't even a trick play anymore with the Lions. It's part of who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's why other teams try to emulate what we're doing, and it don't work. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lions do it like we've been doing it for 2 or 3 years now. Fake punts, you know what I mean? Fake field goal.
Going for it on fourth down.
Yeah. I mean, now it's part of who they are. So I think that it comes second nature, and then not so pressured to do it. You know what I mean? A team that goes for it on fourth down 15 times or 20 times a year compared to the team that does it 5 times. I mean, I think it's safe to say the team that's been doing it for 20 times is more well versed in it than somebody who's been doing it 3 or 4 times. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a good win all the way around. I think we really irritated the Packers. I was listening to some of their comments. Elgin Jenkins, I think the offensive tackle for the Packers, really upset. Like what he was saying, he was like, well, the better team didn't win, and they executed more than us, but they're not better than us, basically. Matt LaFleur had some things he was saying during the game, like, calling us some losers and stuff like that. He had some good stuff to say, but in the heat of battle, that's what happens, man. You know what I'm saying? Them guys want to win, and trust me, that team going to be motivated if they come here. But I think that when they get here, they're going to get smashed. I mean, that was their time, I think, to beat the Lions, man. I don't see it even happening, you know what I mean, the next time around. So
yeah. Got one complaint, and I'm gonna get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
The second to last drive of the game.
Yeah.
What the hell was that play calling? With all the passes and everything, when all we had to do was just milk the clock.
Yeah. Yep. I think that sometimes Ben John and Tom Brady alluded to it. He gets too cute, man.
Had the nerve to try. One of the plays was a trick play. Like,
yeah.
Like, dude, like we up. Don't give these dudes no life. What are you doing this for? Just run the football.
Yeah.
But we got out of it.
Yeah, we fumble it, and an indirect, a deflection, go back, a pick six the other way. That's all you need to happen. You know what I'm saying? In that
on
situation.
the road.
On the road. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit, but I think that the Lions kind of petty a little bit. Remember Xavier McKinney saying what he said? I just think that you just fuel to the fire with this team, man. I think they Lions, like Ryan Clark even said, no new friends with this team, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't like the Lions, don't start liking them now. You know what I'm saying? I think they want to beat everybody. They want to have an identity, and I think you getting away with it. But like I said, I wouldn't have done it, and I think that you tread lightly when you do that. You know what I'm saying? Because the next time around, trust me, Packers gonna be motivated and really trying to, you know, make up for the
I get
horrible
it.
performance yesterday.
We motivated too. It's
Yeah.
that's the one thing about that motivation. They don't make just one of them.
Yeah,
It's a
right.
whole lot of motivations floating around out here, and we got it too. We
Yeah.
got it too. People didn't think we was gonna be motivated enough to want to smash Seattle. We went
Mhm.
out there and did it. They didn't think we was gonna be motivated enough to go out there week one against Kansas City and get a win in Kansas City. We did it.
Mhm.
We couldn't get a playoff win. We got two of them.
Yeah.
We came within a self-destruction in the fourth quarter of beating San Francisco in San Francisco.
Yeah.
We came within converting maybe one red zone attempt
Yeah.
from beating Tampa Bay in week
And
two.
I mean, do you think that? Do you think this team is ready? Like, this might be a dumb question. I mean, do you think that they have taken the step to where you do you expect them to be there at the end? Do you expect this team to make the Super Bowl? I mean,
I
anything
do.
else, man, would be just like to say a first round exit would be devastating. Let's say, you get a home field advantage and you get a feisty team, play the Eagles or something in the first round or second round
Yeah,
or
that's what I was
whatever,
gonna get at.
and and they lose. It's like, man, that's the worst right there. We've seen that happen to a lot of teams, man. That
Oh no, it can happen.
was
One bad matchup in January and you go home.
Yeah, look at Buffalo. Ask Buffalo. You know what I'm saying about that. You know what I'm saying about being like the heavy favorite and just like this team gonna go where they need to go, do what they need to do, and then playoff come and it just fizzle out. You know what I'm saying? So
I
that's
don't
how.
think
That's
we'll
how.
fizzle though.
No,
I
no, no,
think
no.
what we
Absolutely
have
not.
is legit. But
No, right. I expect us, Walt, to be there at the end. I really do. I mean, that's how I feel about it now. I mean, they've turned me to where I was saying, well, you know what, we good, but maybe we'll get to the, might not quite
I'm
might
gonna
not
say
make it to the
this.
mountaintop. You know.
I don't. I think we're currently at this moment the class of the NFC. But when you look around the rest of the NFC, Washington 6-2. Do I
7-2.
believe? Yeah, 7-2. Do I believe in Dan Quinn and his defense? I don't believe in the personnel, but I do believe in Dan Quinn and his ability to coach high level defense. He did it
Mhm.
in Seattle. He did it in Dallas a year ago.
Okay.
And he's also out there with a rookie quarterback. So I can only take that with a grain of salt right there. You talking
Yeah.
about the Rams? Super Bowl winning head coach, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Got
Yeah.
a bunch of young talent on defense as well as offense. Can they
Yeah.
catch fire at the right time and go on a run? It's possible. They've also played us close the last two matchups we had against them.
Yeah.
Green Bay, Malik Willis, a bunch of B wide receivers, Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love can't stop turning the damn ball over. So I don't know what to really make of that. Sam Darnold tried to give the game away last night
Hmm.
for the Vikings. Um,
Yeah.
Honestly,
Baker.
man, in my opinion, and I've said this before, outside of the Rams, I think the Eagles, and I don't trust the Eagles as far as I can throw them, simply
Nope.
because they can't consistently beat anybody from the pocket. Jalen Hurts has completely regressed with that. I think after that Super Bowl loss to Kansas City, teams figured out how to really give him issues and how to stop him. You load that box, don't let him get going running the football. There's not much standing in the pocket, surveying the field, one read, two read, three read, come back to the first read, make the right decision. Not a lot of quick decision making within him and that offense, but they got playmakers.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, they got Devontae Smith, they got Saquon Barkley out there. Um, so playing the Philadelphia Eagles, there's always a good chance that those playmakers could jump up and bite you. That's why I
Yeah.
think the Eagles are dangerous. But y'all gonna think I'm joking, man. Listen, the Atlanta Falcons are built very, very similar to Detroit. We got elite safety play. They got elite safety play. They front seven kind of struggle getting after the quarterback. Our front seven kind of struggle getting after the quarterback. Difference is they got 4 or 5 pass rushers within that front seven that they invested NFL draft picks in. But you look at them on offense, they got a veteran quarterback, Kirk Cousins, who all he needs to do is distribute the football to his playmakers. You got Kyle Pitts, you got Drake London, you got Darnell Mooney, you got Saquon, not Saquon, but you got your boy from Texas, Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
They got a stable of running backs.
Yeah.
Like if Atlanta has the ability to go after us, I think a matchup against Atlanta won't be as easy as some Lions fans think it will be. But just being honest, man, outside of Philadelphia and Atlanta, and maybe the Rams, considering the fact that the Rams know us so well now because they done played us so much.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody else that really standing in our way. And I think we beat Philadelphia.
Washington. Mm-hmm. I think Tampa, they beat us, but Tampa, 4-5? They getting ready to lose this game, it looks like. So they trying to drive in the last 2 minutes, but Tampa, they'll be 4-5, bro. You know what I'm saying? If they lose this one, Seattle's 4-5 already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's real clear. It's super clear our path. I mean, you got in the NFC.
Don't slip.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with 6 wins in our conference. You know, the Eagles, Vikings, Packers, Falcons. You know what I'm saying? Lions and Washington got 7 wins. And right now the Cardinals, Rams, 49ers all battling for the West, you know, and 5 and 4 wins respectively. So, yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay, this will be a devastating loss for them because right now, dude, the Falcons probably gonna win that division right now. And you're not getting in if you finish second in the South. You can forget it. You know what I mean? Because that's what the Bears' problem is, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it from Detroit's perspective, even if you just make all the layups and have a hiccup against Green Bay in a few weeks, you might have another hiccup week 18 against Minnesota or something like that. Yeah. But even if you make all the layups, like you beat Jacksonville, you beat the Colts, you beat the Bears twice. Just the layups. Even if you make all the layups, that's 11 wins.
Yeah. 11 wins, and I had them right at 11. I think they're going to supplant that. You know what I mean? And then I'm looking at the points against.
Because we expect everybody else to fall off. We expect Washington to lose a couple more games at least.
Yeah. Because Washington.
Atlanta, we expect Atlanta to lose.
Yeah, because right now we trying to get the number. We trying to get Ford Field in January rocking, right? We trying to get everybody come through us to get to the Super Bowl. So you look at Washington's schedule the next 5 weeks. They got at home against Pittsburgh, at Philly, at home against the Cowboys, and then they at home against the Titans, and then they play the Saints. So, man, the Commanders can rip off and get 13 wins. You know what I'm saying? 12 wins, 12-5. I can see that for them. So I think the Lions might not have to work as hard as they did last year. Excuse me. I take that back. I think they probably will have to win maybe. I'm just talking about to get the number 1 seed. They may have to win about 6 more games. You know, you might have to get 13 wins, you know what I mean, to get the number 1 seed in the NFC. Because that's what I'm looking at right now. Wild card, we done surpassed all that, especially you win the division, you know what I mean? You in another part of the bracket. So yeah, we'll see. We got how many? We on a 6-game winning streak, and we've already played 4 games at home. So yeah, I mean it's in our favor. Like you said, I like the way you put that. Like you say, even if we win the easy ones, that's 11 wins right there. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
something else gotta give. 2. You got 2 against the Bears coming up, Thanksgiving. Then you got, I think we play them outside, I think in December. I think that might be a game you might want to put an asterisk by. And man, I don't see us lose to the Jaguars or the Colts. You know what I'm saying? That's 2 wins right there for sure. So in my book, so that's 9 wins.
Yeah, and then
right there.
depends on how you view Buffalo later on in the
That's gonna be a
season.
great game. That's gonna be a
San
great game.
Francisco,
Yeah.
that's another revenge game right there. I still don't consider San Francisco a layup, even though Frisco is kind of a shell of what they've been the past
No.
4 or 5 years. But yeah, I mean, it's just that Philadelphia, they got the talent to make plays.
Mhm.
That's pretty much it, man. We playing the best football not only in the NFC but in the entire NFL right now.
Yeah.
And I don't see us having too many hiccups. And then once you get to the point of the schedule, because we complained about having that bye as early as we had that bye. But
Mhm.
now, them weeks then passed by. We at the midway point. We 7-1. We reaching that point in the schedule we talked about during the offseason where, okay, now we don't travel nowhere.
Yeah.
Chicago, Indianapolis, spend 4 weeks at home playing Buffalo and
Mhm.
Jacksonville. And we don't travel too far until it's time to go play at San Francisco, which is week 17. So having that many home games, not having to travel, they can probably take a bus if they wanted to play the Colts.
Yeah.
If they wanted to, just being honest about it, or Chicago for that matter. But being in a situation where late in the season you have that many home games and you don't have to travel far gives you the opportunity to get a lot of guys healthy. That's something I think a lot of fans haven't really factored into it as well, man. They on the train to that number one overall spot right there, man. And I don't see anybody really knocking us off from that. It would be nice if we did play Philadelphia this season. You know, we haven't
Mhm.
played Philadelphia since year one.
Yeah.
Wasn't it year one?
It
No, it
was
was year two.
year two. Yeah. Year
Yeah,
two. We
Aiden
played them at
Hutchinson.
home. I think
Yep.
we played them 2 years in a row. Actually, remember? I think we played them twice, 2 years in a row. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah. I mean, if we had to put a ball on this show tonight before we get out of here, I mean, it's like the next week again. We got Texans coming up, another big road game. Primetime game. Uh, it's something where I gave Houston a win at the beginning of the season. Very winnable game coming up. You know what I'm saying? It just like this win just reinvigorated how I felt. Like it just backs up everything the Lions been doing. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that nobody can beat us when we just play like how we playing. I don't think nobody can beat us, man. And that's with our team not being like how we want it to be. You know what I'm saying? And anytime Brady was just see, I keep referencing him because I take people who play the game. Like you said, Cam Newton played the game. You kind of listen to those guys, what they saying, because it's not a bunch of BS. They out there and he said, listen, everybody wants pass rushers. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs, don't have a perfect team. I mean, for everybody that like Baltimore. Baltimore looks really good too. You know what I'm saying? But they deficient in some areas as well. You know what I'm saying?
They covered the spread.
Yeah, they
I
did.
was
They did.
wrong on
Yes.
I was wrong on Bo
I
Nix.
totally call that one wrong. I thought for sure Denver would put up a better fight, but yeah, I mean, Walter. Before I get out of here, I just want to say, man, like I said, good win, punch them boys in the mouth. It was no doubt. I like that the Lions are winning these games, and it haven't been no doubts, no doubt, except for you if you want to say they beat Minnesota by a field goal, you can say that, but they beating teams and just putting it, taking all the hope, all chance of you thinking that you're gonna win the game. They just rip your heart out, man. You know what I'm saying? I like that about this team, the killer instincts. Yeah, I see that too. Chris Bucks tied it up, 27 seconds left. So big touchdown. Walt, take us home, man. What you feel? I mean, what's your last thoughts on this game?
Um, Not surprised. We
Mm-hmm.
won those last 2 games at Lambeau. Green Bay turned around and beat us right here, though.
Yeah.
So it's okay. We throw a jab, they come back with a right cross. But that's just how the rivalry is with Minnesota and Green Bay, especially Green Bay. But we went on the road.
Mm-hmm.
We're a battle tested football team. We did exactly what I thought we was gonna do. I actually
Yeah.
had 24-20.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Considering the fact that this defense has given up 28 points in the last 8 quarters, 14 in the first quarter to Tennessee, 14 points over 4 quarters against Green Bay. I understand everybody has their feelings about the lack of pass rush. There was times during yesterday's game where Jordan Love just had all day. And I'm thinking like, damn, can we just get home and just close this play out? But whether it be an interception by him, an incompletion by him making a bad decision on a run and turning what should have been a 3rd and 6 into a 3rd and 10 on a couple times, we doing what we need to do. And hearing what we heard from Tom Brady makes perfect sense, because if you look at a lot of those past New England Patriot teams, they didn't have all pros at every position.
Yeah.
They didn't have a big-time pass rush and lockdown corners that did this and did that. They had good players, but that team played damn well all together. So, yeah, we got to stop searching for this perfect team.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen, man. The Philadelphia Eagles thought they had the perfect team by going out and drafting all these perfect player names and getting all these guys in free agency, and any guy's name that came up in the trade, you always heard Howie Roseman's name swirling around it, but that hasn't gotten them nowhere the last couple years, for that matter. They found themselves losing to Patrick Mahomes as well. But yeah, I mean, trade deadline tomorrow.
Yeah,
we guaranteed to know something. I'm pretty sure by 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
2
3
o'clock.
o'clock is trade deadline. Yep, tomorrow. Yep.
Yeah,
but we got to acknowledge what we always have. It seems like every week now we getting people from other media outlets. We see Chris Cruson from Kansas.
What's going on, Chris?
Yeah, he said he's
Hopefully
from Kansas, but a Lions fan. Yeah. Appreciate you, Chris, for checking us out tonight. Yeah, Trey Finesse, oh man, all the people, Bobby Drake that always hollering at us. Appreciate y'all tonight too as well. Rob Spidell, Mr. Buckets. Yeah, we appreciate all of y'all tonight. So
yep, definitely.
Also, let's just say this: if the trade is made, we know it's election night tomorrow, but if if they make a deal, we could do an impromptu, fill people in on who we got, you know what I'm saying, since the trade deadline tomorrow. So y'all heard it here first,
Definitely. All right, we out of here. 71, number 1 seed in the NFC, 2-0 in our division. One pride.